Shalom, everyone. My name is Tina. Welcome to Hebraic Awakening. And I'm just sharing some thoughts, as I progress in this season and what I'm experiencing, what I'm learning, my paradigm shift in my mind. So, yesterday, I decided to go to a city council meeting because it's really been on me to be seen in the community. I already do community work. I serve our elders and our widows in our community. And I've been doing this for so many years. However, I just feel the need to do more. And one thing that I realized that I said in my last video is that, when I was in college, I wanted to study criminal justice because I wanted to kind of go into politics to help to make a difference in my community. And I realized, that's what I've been doing. And it's time to progress. And this is why I'm so adamant about what has been going on in our community, with all of the, uproar again about who we are as a people. And, because I've been walking for a while, I'm not saying I'm past that. I'm saying there's more, right? And I try to get people to understand that just knowing who you are is not going to cut it. Our people knew who they were, and that's why we over here sitting in the land of our captivity. That's why we're scattered, because they knew exactly who they were. They had their culture, they had their language, they had the covenant, and they still messed up. So this can't be about upholding your nationality. This can't be, shouting to the world who we are. There is so much more, but I understand that there are stages to the awakening, and I realize that we're just waking up right now. And I know some are not going to agree, but we're just waking up right now. We have not repented as a nation. No, we're nowhere we're nowhere near that as a nation. I'm not saying those of us like myself, like you, that may be watching have not repented and getting your life back on track and turning to Torah and trying to learn, Messiah, trying to learn, how to walk out Torah in this captivity. I'm saying as a nation, because we have to think of ourselves as a nation and not as individuals, so as a nation of people, we have not repented. So we're just waking up. So I'm going to rest with that. However, those of us that hear the call and have to set the way, we have to pave the way for those that are waking up, and then they're going to realize they have to do more. We have to already be walking in our giftings and our callings. So with that being said, many of us are being called to different sectors within our community. Some of us are returning back to the continent, which I am for returning back to the continent. If you did not know, now you know. Because I was going to return to the motherland before COVID. And when COVID hit, that threw our plans off. But we are, getting back on track with that. However, until then, I am going to occupy, and I am going to concentrate on doing things in my surrounding community, because as I'm traveling back and forth from the continent, back here, because of family, because of loved ones, I want to set up, a community where, we're building, we're sharing, we're growing, we're loving. So I went to the city council meeting, and I realized that, we are so afraid of going into our cities, going to hear what our politicians are saying, because we want to separate ourselves. Okay? And I get separating yourself spiritually. I get that. But according to Jeremiah 29, and I think it was verse 1, my sister friend gave it to me, but it's Jeremiah 29. And Jeremiah says, we need to pray for the peace in the cities, in the places where we were exiled to. Because when the city and the place that you pray for have peace, you gonna have peace. And so, sitting there listening to black people sharing what they do in the community. Judges having mentorships, and they have the fruit of what they're doing right there. So the Tulsa initiative had the fruit, where he wants the community to understand how to talk with and be able to teach black boys. Something that wholeheartedly I am with. I have T's Tutorium. If you have followed me, on my Instagram and TikTok, I'm really on there. You hear I have videos talking about that very, very thing. So I was like, wow, and I'm really going to, look into the Tulsa initiative because, they were saying some really great things last night. The judge who got tired of juveniles coming in and she would have to, deal with them and sentence them. And she said she would even go to funerals because she was invested. She said, bump that. She started a mentor program and brought two of her mentees, and they told a beautiful story. And one of them, he hood, okay? One of them was hood. He cussed and had to catch himself. And we was cracking up because he was very forthright. He spoke from the heart, and the mentorship with the judge has changed his life. Even the judge had mentored one of the city council members. She was his Sunday school teacher, and he was the one that was getting the police chief together. I was sitting there just like in awe. He was getting the police chief together because in our city, it's 40% black and 30% white, but 60% of all the traffic stops is about black people. And he said, ain't y'all tired, basically? These statistics have been going on and on and on, and it ain't getting no better. I mean, he was calling stuff out left and right. And you know what? That police chief had to stand there in silence. And I was just like, wow, because when you write and the truth is spoken, you're right. So what I'm saying is that I see us, black people, and we're beginning to get out more into our communities, going to our cities, speaking before the councils. And I'm compelling us as Hebrews. If we have the truth and we believe that we have the truth, and we want everybody to see that we have the truth, we must get out into our communities. I am not going to back away from that. Being on YouTube and Facebook and social media is nice, but you still have to get out into your community. It does make a difference. Going to the city council meetings makes a difference. Here's why. Because another black investment group that invests in affordable housing came to the city of Fayetteville, and they are building a brand new senior building that will be ready in 2024. That's very important for me to hear. You know why? Because I deal with the elders and the widows in the community. So if I stay connected and stay in the know, I can share with my community members, the elders and the widows, how to get on the list, to make sure you have the appropriate documents, when, and if I get in good with people, you get favor. And hopefully the Hebrew widows and the Hebrew elders will be the first on the list. And I don't have to flaunt who I am. I have to live who I am so that doors will open, so that favor can be bestowed upon me because I have returned back to the covenant. It's so simple. My prayer is that those that can hear me, because I know everyone cannot hear, everyone's assignment is different, but those that are called and can hear, that you will get up. The prophetic word given for this month was your footsteps will be ordered. Keep moving. So if you are being compelled and pulled and you feel like the Most High is calling you up higher, which I know He is, to do more, to be more, it's time, especially in this season. Y'all know, I believe in the prophetic significance of our biblical calendar. He just didn't set the seasons just to be setting them. He didn't just set appointed times for nothing. They are prophetic in nature. So in this season, I'm really being pulled and compelled. And I hope that if you are listening and you have something in your heart that you would like to do, that you would get up and do it. Your footsteps are being ordered. Get up and just do. Well, I didn't hear the vision, as Minister Adewale says. You know, you don't hear it, you don't see. He's compelling you. And I love that about the prophetic, because sometimes you don't hear, you speak. And he'll put the words in your mouth. So sometimes you don't see the path, but he'll put the path as soon as you take the step. He'll put it in front of you. And, you know, if we're going to walk by faith, we're going to have to walk by faith. And we're going to have to be seen and heard in our communities, not by shouting who we are, but by living and being who we are. I'm telling you, that is going to make the difference. That is going to draw others to us, because others are supposed to be drawn to us because of our wisdom, not because of who we are, because of the wisdom that we carry that comes from the Most High. So I'm just excited. My mind has shifted hearing those people, and they probably were Christians. I guarantee you that the people that were standing up there doing things were Christians. So, you know, I'm like, so what are we doing? What are we doing? I know we're doing small little things here and there. You know, we like to sell clothes and music, you know, and body butters and soap. And that's all great, because I buy it from our Hebrew community. I sure do. I buy it. I buy it all. However, there are those of us that have been called to get out in our communities and make a difference. That's all I'm saying. We all have our giftings. We all have our callings. But I think we're scared to move into these sectors because of what some people have perceived, you know, in politics. And there's a way, as we know, with our ancestors. Study our ancestors, Joseph, Daniel, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. Study our ancestors who had to move and speak and be before the government. Just study and hear what they have to say and see how they moved. And, you know, if you are called, and I'm not saying I'm going into politics, because Hebrews will read into what you say. They, you know, we are so extra. I'm saying that going into your city, understanding what your city has to offer, knowing what's going on, will help you as a Hebrew, as an Israelite. It will help you to know what to do, where to be, how to be seen, and to bring assets, wisdom, and knowledge to that particular situation. That is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I just wanted to share what was on my mind. It's a lot happening behind the scenes, but I think that there are others, you know, like myself, who are being called, and I just want to compel you to move, to do, to come up higher. Don't be afraid, because your footsteps are being ordered. All right, until the next video, shalom, everyone.